The screen opens on Buckingham Palace's forecourt, a majestic expanse bathed in the golden light of an August sun, the cream-colored stones, shimmering like molten gold. Their ancient warmth, a silent testament to centuries of royal legacy. The royal guard stands in formation, their scarlet tunics blazing bearskin hats, towering a living embodiment of duty that commands the courtyard's reverence. Tourists throng the iron barriers, their cameras flashing like bursts of sunlight, capturing the proud flutter of the Union Jack atop the palace, its colors vivid against a cloudless sky. The air hums with excitement, children waving miniature flags, the scent of warm cobblestones, and blooming roses from the palace gardens. The lively chatter of voices blending with the distant chime of Westminster's bells. The rhythmic clack of boots echoes as the guards maintain their posts, their discipline a heartbeat that binds the scene, grounding it in the weight of tradition. In this sunlit spectacle where honor meets the pulse of the present, a powerful woman will challenge a royal guard with a stun gun, believing her influence can break his resolve, only to be taught a lesson by his silent strength. A moment that will spark awe, reflection, and a question that lingers long after the cobblestones fall silent. If you're moved by stories of honor, hit subscribe to join our community and catch more soul-stirring tales every day. As the sun climbs higher, one question reverberates across the forecourt. What does it take to stand unshaken when power demands surrender? Private James Harrow stands at his post, second in the line of the Queen's Guard, his scarlet tunic vivid against the cream stones, his bearskin hat towering, its black fur glistening faintly in the heat. His blue eyes steady beneath the brim, scanning the crowd with a disciplined focus, honed by years of service. At 26, James is a veteran of desert patrols in Mali. His lean frame a testament to rigorous training, his quiet resolve a shield forged in the crucible of conflict, where his courage under fire saved his squad from an ambush, earning him a military medal. His face tanned and etched with faint lines from long nights in the Sahel is a mask of stoic calm. But beneath the surface lies a vigilant mind, always assessing, always prepared. A flashback transports us to a moonlit Malian desert, where James's uniform streaked with sand spots, a glint of metal in the dunes, his shouted warning averting a rocket attack, his blue eyes steady as he leads his men to safety, his resolve a beacon in the chaos. Now as a Queen's Guard, his duty is to embody the crown's honor, to stand as a symbol of unbroken tradition. His rifle at his shoulder, his posture rigid, his heart tethered to the silence of his post, but his instincts remain razor-sharp, ready to respond to the unexpected in this bustling forecourt. The crowd buzzes with live tourists waving Union Jack's cameras, snapping, children laughing as they mimic the guard's stance, their sneakers scuffing the cobblestones. A vendor calls out her offers of iced tea, his cart a burst of color, while a guide recounts the palace's history, her voice weaving through the crowd's chatter. An elderly couple shares a camera, their faces lit with pride, while a young family, their toddler clutching a flag, snaps selfies against the palace's grand facade. The Union Jack flutters above its colors, a vibrant contrast to the cream stones, the guards' scarlet tunics, a vivid tableau of tradition. Their silence, a powerful presence, amidst the courtyard's vibrancy. Amidst this lively throng, Eleanor Grant strides forward, a woman in her mid-40s, her sharp black suit tailored to perfection, her dark hair pulled into a severe bun, her face stern, her cold gray eyes radiating entitlement. Clutching a sleek briefcase, her heels click assertively on the cobblestones, her presence commanding attention as she approaches James's post. her demeanor that of a corporate magnate accustomed to bending others, to her will her arrogance. A storm brewing in the sunlit forecourt. The conflict ignites as James remains motionless, his blue eyes fixed ahead, adhering to the strict protocol of the Queen's Guard remain still, unless the ceremony or lives are directly threatened. Ignoring distractions, no matter their source, Eleanor steps closer, crossing the invisible line of respect, her briefcase swinging slightly, her voice cutting through the crowd's hum like a blade. "Do you know my influence?" She demands, her tone sharp, her gray eyes narrowing, expecting deference, her words a challenge to James's silence. Tourists turn their phones, raised, murmuring their faces, a mix of curiosity and unease, an elderly veteran in a blazer, his medals glinting, frowns whispering to his wife. She's out of line. While a teenage boy, his camera poised, shifts to record muttering. "What's her deal?" Eleanor's expression hardens, her voice rising, accusing James of disrespect, her words dripping with disdain. "You're just a decoration." She snaps, her tone echoing across the forecourt, her arrogance fueling a standoff that draws every eye, the crowd tensing. Some frowning, others whispering their reverence for the guards, clashing with her audacity. James's heart steadies his thoughts on Mali, on the discipline that saved lives, on the duty that binds him to this post, to the crown, to the honor of those who serve before him. His blue eyes remain unflinching, his scarlet tunic vivid, his bearskin hat steady, his silence a shield against Eleanor's provocation, his restraint a testament to the training that makes him more than a decoration. The crowd's murmurs grow, a young mother, her toddler clinging to her leg, gasps. How dare she, her voice trembling with indignation, while a middle-aged man, his guidebook forgotten, shakes his head, muttering, "She's pushing too far." The vendor, his cart silent, watches with narrowed eyes, his hands pausing on his thermos, sensing the brewing conflict. Palace staff, their navy uniforms crisp, hover at the edges, their radios crackling softly, their faces professional but alert, ready to intervene, but holding back, trusting James's discipline to hold the line. Eleanor's presence, her briefcase a prop of her perceived power, her cold eyes locked on James, creates a palpable tension. The forecourt, a stage for a clash of entitlement and honor. The tension escalates as Eleanor's frustration peaks, her gray eyes flashing with anger, her composure fraying under James's unyielding silence. His refusal to acknowledge her, a blow to her inflated sense of authority. She snaps open her briefcase with a sharp click, the sound cutting through the crowd's murmurs, pulling out a sleek stun gun, its black casing gleaming in the sunlight. Her face a mix of anger and confidence, her lips curling as she hisses, "Move or else." The crowd gasps, a collective intake of breath, backing away, some shouting for security. "Call the police, she's got a weapon." Their faces shocked, their phones wobbling as they record their reverence for the ceremony, shattered by the threat. An elderly woman in a sun hat clutches her husband's arm, her voice trembling. "She can't do that." While the teenage boy, his video rolling, whispers, "This is insane." A young couple, their toddler now crying, step back, the father's voice low but urgent. "She's dangerous." James stands firm, his body tensing beneath his scarlet tunic, his blue eyes unflinching, the stun gun's faint hum, a stark contrast to his calm, his heart pounding, but his resolve, unbroken, his training in Mali, where he faced armed threats with steady hands guiding his response. Eleanor presses the stun gun to his side, its metal tip cold against his tunic, expecting him to collapse. Her gray eyes gleaming with triumph, her voice a low taunt. "You'll move now," she says. Her confidence, a mask for the desperation beneath her belief in her power, blinding her to James's strength. The crowd holds its breath, their faces a gallery of fear and anticipation. The vendors' hands frozen, the children's flags still the palace. Staff's radios crackling louder the forecourt. A stage for a moment that balances on the edge of violence and restraint. The question hanging in the air: will James yield, or will his silence prevail? The climax erupts as the stun gun crackles a sharp jolt, rippling through James, the electric surge, searing his side. His face tightening with pain, his jaw clenching, but his body remaining upright. His bearskin hat steady, his blue eyes locked ahead, his resolve an unyielding fortress against Eleanor's assault. The crowd gasps, their voices rising in awe. Some shouting, he's still standing, their phones capturing every second, their faces alight with disbelief and admiration. Eleanor stumbles back, stunned, her gray eyes wide with shock. Her confidence shattered as James, in a single fluid motion, grips her wrist with precision, his grip firm, but controlled, disarming her with the skill of a soldier, trained to neutralize threats without escalation. The stun gun clatters to the cobblestones, its hum silenced, its black casing glinting as it skids away, a symbol of her failed power. James releases her wrist, his movements swift but measured, his blue eyes calm, his scarlet tunic vivid, his restraint. A lesson in strength that needs no words. The crowd erupts in gasps and quiet cheers, their faces awestruck, their applause growing a tide of admiration for James's resilience, for the guard who stood unshaken against force, for the honor that prevailed without violence. The elderly veteran, his medals glinting, nods, his eyes warm with respect, his voice low. "That's a soldier's heart," he says, his wife clapping softly, her tears glistening. The teenage boy, his video capturing the moment, cheers his friend shouting. He didn't even flinch. The young mother, her toddler now calm, wipes her eyes, her voice soft. "He's a hero," she says, her husband nodding, their faces lit with pride. Palace security, their navy uniforms, a swift presence. Surge forward, cuffing Eleanor. Her black suit rumpled, her expression defeated. Her head bowed her protests. "You don't know who I am," ignored as they lead her away. Their radios crackling with reports of the incident. Their faces professional, but satisfied, the threat neutralized by James's action. The resolution unfolds as James resumes his post, his rifle snapping back to his shoulder, his scarlet tunic vivid, his bearskin hat steady, his face calm as if the confrontation never occurred, the ceremony continuing. The guard's formation unbroken, the Union Jack fluttering above tradition, intact in the face of disruption. The sun casts golden beams across the forecourt, the bells chiming softly, the crowd's applause fading into a respectful murmur, their faces a tapestry of awe and gratitude. Eleanor led away by police glances, back her gray eyes hollow, her arrogance replaced by a humbling realization. Her briefcase left behind, a discarded symbol of her failed power. The elderly couple, their camera now lowered, share a nod, their pride in the guard. A quiet bond, their holiday, now marked by a story of honor they'll carry home. The young family, their toddler waving a flag, claps softly, the parents whispering lessons of courage to their wide-eyed child. Their respect for the guards deepened. In the barracks that evening, James removes his scarlet tunic, The faint burn on his side, a reminder of the day's trial. His blue eyes reflective as he polishes his rifle, the ritual a meditation. On the moment, he stood firm. His comrades, their banter usually lively, offer quiet respect. Their voices, low but warm. You took that jolt like it was nothing, Harrow says. Private Collins, his own bearskin hat on the rack, his eyes meeting James's with admiration. James nods, his voice steady. It's not about the pain, it's about the post, he says. His thoughts on Mali, on the moments where restraint saved lives, on the duty that demanded. He stand unshaken, not just for himself, but for the crown, for the crowd, for the honor he carries. The sergeant major, his gold braid catching the barracks light, pauses at the door, his face stern but proud. You held the line. Harrow. He says his words a rare commendation, his nod a seal of approval that carries the weight of tradition. Days later, the story of James and Eleanor becomes a global sensation shared across news outlets, social media, and whispered conversations, a viral video capturing the standoff. The stun guns crackle James' unyielding stance. The crowd's awe, a symphony of honor. Headlines hail the guard who stood unshaken, framing James's act as a lesson in resilience, a reminder that true honor stands silent, unshaken by power or force. News anchors recount the story with reverence, their voices thick with admiration, while online forums buzz with praise for the guard who endured, for the tradition that held firm, for the justice that prevailed in a single moment. The video shared millions of times shows James's scarlet tunic blazing in the sunlight, the stun gun falling, Eleanor's defeat, a testament to the power of disciplined restraint. The crowd's face is a tapestry of awe and gratitude, a moment that unites viewers in admiration for a soldier who chose silence over surrender. Eleanor, facing charges for assault and possession of a prohibited weapon, issues a public apology, her once cold eyes softened by reflection, her corporate empire shaken by the humbling lesson of a guard's resilience. Her story, a cautionary tale of arrogance undone. The elderly veteran, back in his Sussex village, shares the story at his local pub. His medals displayed, his voice firm with pride for the guard who stood firm. His wife nodding, her eyes glistening with respect. The teenage boy, his video a viral phenomenon, starts a school project on the Queen's Guard. His words inspired by James's courage. His platform, a light for others to learn about honor. The young family, their holiday transformed, visit the palace again. Their toddler waving a flag at James's post. Their smiles a thank you that crosses the barrier. Their respect a bond with the guard who endured. At a private ceremony in Buckingham Palace's ballroom, James stands before Colonel Sir William Tate, his scarlet tunic gleaming under crystal chandeliers, the air rich with the scent of polished oak and fresh lilies. Tate, his face stern but warm, his silver hair catching the light, pins the Queen's Guard Medal for exemplary conduct. To James's chest, a rare honor for acts that uphold the crown's values in extraordinary ways. You honor the crown with your silence, Private Tate says, his voice resonant, his eyes meeting James's with pride. Your strength was our shield, your restraint. Our justice, the king sends his gratitude. James's blue eyes glisten, his thoughts on Mali, on the squad he saved, on the duty that defines him. His salute steady, his heart full, the weight of the medal, a reminder of the moment he stood unshaken, of the honor he upheld. The aftermath ripples through the lives touched by that August morning. The elderly veteran, his story, now a local legend, inspires his granddaughter to join the army cadets. His medals a beacon for the next generation. His pride in James, a quiet tribute. The teenage boy, his video a catalyst for change. Volunteers, with a youth leadership program. His words shaped by the God's resilience. His platform, a call to strength. The young family, their holiday, now a cherished memory. Write a letter to the regiment, their toddler's flag, a keepsake, their gratitude, a bridge to the guards who protect. James, back at his modest London flat, shares the story with his fiancée Sarah, a paramedic. Their cozy home filled with her sketches, and the scent of fresh coffee, her hand resting on his, her voice soft. You showed her what strength really is. She says her pride in James, a quiet anchor, her smile a reminder of why he stands. James returns to his post the following week. The August sun now softened by a gentle breeze. The forecourt alive with new tourists, their cameras flashing their voices, a familiar hum. His scarlet tunic glows, his bearskin hat steady, his rifle a vow to protect its weight, a reminder of the duty he carries. The crowd, unaware of the drama, snaps photos, but the vendor, his cart adorned with a small Union Jack, nods to James, his smile a quiet acknowledgement of the hero beneath the uniform. Palace staff passing by offer subtle nods their respect, unspoken but profound their pride in James, a shared secret among those who serve the crown. In his quiet moments, James thinks of Eleanor's defeat, of the veteran's nod, of the vow he made in Mali, to stand firm for those who depend on him, of the lesson that true honor stands silent, unshaken by power or force. The Buckingham Palace forecourt, with its cream stones and Union Jack stands, as it always has a witness to countless moments of courage. Its honor upheld by a God who stood unshaken, who met force with restraint, who showed that silence can be stronger than arrogance. The story of that golden August morning is a parable of resilience, a testament to the power of a single moment, to uphold justice, to remind us that true honor stands silent, unshaken by power or force, that a guard's restraint can teach a lesson that echoes beyond the cobblestones, uniting us in the belief that strength lies not in surrender, but in standing firm. Private James Harrow, with his soldier's instincts and disciplined heart, proved that resilience can defeat arrogance, that a guard's silence can speak louder than a stun gun's crackle, that a moment of honor can redefine strength for us all. True honor stands silent, unshaken by power or force. What does resilience mean to you? Have you ever faced a moment where you had to stand firm against pressure, where your silence spoke louder than words, where your strength defined your honor? Share your story in the comments below. Tell us about the moments that tested your resolve, the choices that shaped your strength, the lessons that linger like a God's steady gaze. If you're inspired by stories like James Harrow's stories of restraint, resilience, and the courage to stand unshaken, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. Join our community for more tales that uplift, that challenge, that remind us of the strength within us all every single day.